Good morning, everybody. Hi, it's Karen Kong, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Ottawa, and welcome to my This or That Thursday. So on Wednesdays, I try to post two cards. I think late last night, it was actually late last night when I posted my two cards. So anyways, I post two cards, and I ask my creative community to choose one to make live on Thursdays. So, I think everybody picked, the majority went for this card, and that's what we're going to do today. So I hit a creative block last night. I didn't know what to do with, I really wanted to do something with the Labels Aglow Christmas dies, and I couldn't decide what to do. I had the hardest time. So anyways, if you're joining me live, say good morning, say hi, comment. I really like to see you guys joining in. Hi Sandra, thanks for joining me. Yeah, last night was a late night, but I was on such a roll with the hippos, and I was really happy with the card I created. So I thought, okay, I just have one more card to make, and I got stuck. So that's why the post was super late last night. Okay, so is there anything I wanted to tell you guys? So if you didn't know, the Hippos set is part of the upcoming celebration, so you can earn these for free. These are a stamp set, and there's matching dies, and the dies have like tons of stuff in there that are extras, like that you don't have stamps for. They're extra dies, so they're really cute. And I think that's all I wanted to, oh, and I wanted to tell you guys that this is going to be my last live for a little while, because we have a dance competition next week, and then we're away on vacation for a little bit, and so we're going to take a break. I'm going to take a break for all of July, and I'll probably start doing them again maybe mid-August, depending on how things go, because with people in the house during summer, it's a little bit more difficult to get quiet time, both for creating and for hosting lives. So I'm going to take a break for that time, and we'll see if we can get back to this in August. But I'll keep posting stuff. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to my desktop, and just close your eyes while I flip it. Okay, hang on a sec. Oh, you know what? I haven't even set up my computer. I want to be able to see your comments. Just a second. All right. Just a second. All right. Good. I'm set up on my computer now. Let me switch my phone to show you my desk. All right. Just going to mount it. Okay. I'll zoom in a little bit. Maybe that's a bit too much. So I'm going to move my mount a little bit lower so that I can see the bottom of my desk area, because I tend to pull my hands close and then you guys can't see what I'm doing. And I forget that I'm not on the camera properly. Sorry for the bouncing around. All right, there we go. Okay, so this is the other card I made for the live. And I don't know if you can see, but the little silver polka dots, that's that's also celebration paper. It's part of, let me just see if I grab it for you. Where did it go? When I want it, I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is. Okay, so it's a silver and gold specialty paper. So it's part of this pack. You can earn this for free too. And I was excited to try and use this or something, but it's very subtle here because I only used it to fill in sections of my my tree. But I'm not happy with this card entirely. I don't know. Something's missing. I'm not sure what. But anyways, we're not making this card. We're making this card. So I'm going to put this one away. Okay, sorry, I had to tidy up my desk. Last night was just covered in all sorts of like bits and pieces of paper from like both the Christmas set and then from the celebration, the hippo set. So I dragged out this paper pack. This is from the previous celebration. This was the Sunshine and Rainbows that I think many of you picked. It's a great colorful set, and I thought it would look really good with the hippos because it's really cheery. So Karis's birthday is coming up on Monday, and I wanted to make her a special card because it's her 10th. So I saw a fun fold card by Jo Blackman that she posted in her blog, and it's the same fold, but I took her idea and of course I made it into something different using the DSP that I chose and the stamps that I chose. Plus I personalized it with the number 10 for her 10th birthday. And for those of you who know, my daughter has a hearing loss in her right ear. I also put the hearing aid here because I realized that the teardrop is in just the right shape. So I was really tickled by that. I thought that would be a really cool addition, and I wonder if she'll notice it, but so we'll see. So the way this opens, this front panel just tucks behind here, and you just slide it out, and you open it. And I thought that, you know, when I opened it, it needed something up here, so I added that. So that's from the Hippo set, the Love You a Ton. This, the Celebrate You, and this are from the Birthday Chick stamp set, because I liked the font, because I thought it kind of fit the fun theme. And the Hippo set doesn't actually have like a birthday greeting. Yeah, there's no real birthday greeting on this one, so I had to come up with another set. And then I had a great idea. I felt really inspired, and I thought I'd make a pot of gold, but my pot of gold is actually a pot of hearts. So I added sparkle, and I don't know if you can see with my Wink of Stella, because I haven't used it in a while, and Sandra reminded me that she was asking me to use it, and I was like, oh yeah, I haven't used that in a while. So I don't know if you can see. My pictures show it better, but there's sparkle on the 10, and I added sparkle on the hearts, so it's like a pot, right? So yeah, thanks, Sandra. Yeah, I thought it was quite inspired. I was like on a roll when I made this card. So yeah, so there's a pot. The Wink of Stella came in handy because I like to give it that little extra shine. You can't really see it here, but I'll show you. So let's get started. So I'm going to focus mostly on the fun fold itself, and then not so much on creating this. I'll tell you how I created this, because I'm gonna have to, I want to leave this more generic, because, you know, if I want to give this card to anybody else, there's not always going to be the 10th birthday, right? Yes, I die cut all those hearts. I pre-cut a bunch of them. That's what I was doing before I started my live, is pre-cutting some of them. I don't know if I'll have time to put together my little pot of hearts, but I'll show you how I did it. And I'm thinking there must be a better way. I'd like to figure out how to layer it a little bit better, but you'll get the idea. So, okay, so let's get started. All right, so for my card base, it's a Bermuda Bay. And for those of you who are joining me for my this or that, or watching my this or that later, don't worry about writing everything down, because I always give you the measurements and the colors in my video description, so you can check that later. Okay, so I'm just going to take out my Bermuda Bay. Oh, I should put things away first to make room. All right. Just going to move everything aside. There's just never enough room. Okay. Here's my card. You can see all my rough work from the previous stuff. I didn't get a chance to turn it over to a fresh sheet for you guys. Okay, so I'm going to need my paper trimmer and a sheet of Bermuda Bay. Thank you, Sandra, for you. You know what? The color combination, all I did was follow the DSP colors. I used everything in the DSP. But yes, it's, you know, I had to pick and choose. Like I tried different shading behind the hippo, and one of them did not work out, and I tried another one, but I just played with the colors that were in the DSP already, which, you know, helps a lot for trying to figure out what colors to use, right? Okay. All right, so the card base is 5.5 by 11. So I'm gonna cut this at 5.5 inches, which is here. Okay. And I need to score it. Yeah, luckily I have a lot of paper now. I have a lot of paper and inks. And I believe Aiden was busy counting them the other day and asking how many I actually had. I have a lot. Okay, so I need to score this at 4.25. 4.25. And at 8.5. So I'm going to need to open up the arm here. And just move this. Four and a quarter and 8.5. 8.5. Okay. So I'm going to move this aside for now because I need to mark it. All right. So on this side panel here, the shortest side panel, this is the one that's going to come in front. So I want to trim it so it's on an angle. I'm going to take off 2 like triangular sections. So I'm going to mark the center here. Where's my ruler? Okay, so the center is at 2 3/4 inches. Okay. So I'm just going to mark it at 2. Whoops, this is a pen. Okay, I just want a small pencil. Okay, 2 3/4. 2 3/4. I'm just putting a small pencil mark, and then at 1 inch on the top and bottom. And actually my grid paper is in inches, so I could actually use my grid paper. So this is 1 inch. Okay, so I have 3 points marked, and I'm going to trim it on an angle. So I'm going to line up the top and the middle here in the center groove, and I'm going to use it to cut off a corner and another corner. Okay, so this happened to me yesterday where I didn't quite get a tip here. I missed it by just a tiny bit, so I'm just going to slice off a little bit more so I get a sharp tip. And I can't cut too close or it's not gonna cut properly. Let's try this again. There we go. Okay, so it's really close. So here I have a little bit of extra, and I'm just going to use my scissors to just trim it so it's nice and flat. There we go. There, I don't have that excess there. All right. So that is that side. And oh, okay, so when I fold this over, I'll show you. Let me get my bone folder. I'm going to need to trim just a slight sliver from that side. Okay. because when I fold it right in, you see that it's like, it'll buckle if I close it like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off a very thin sliver here so that it can close flat. So not much, just a tiny bit. Did I end up, oh, Sandra, you're asking if, yes, I did get a pair of Stampin' Up! Paper snips, I do. So I actually keep it aside for just doing paper cutting, whereas this older pair, which is the same thing except made by somebody else, I keep it for cutting like sticky stuff, because I like to cut my glue dots or my dimensionals in half or smaller pieces, and so that's what I keep them separate for. Oh. And because like I don't like the edge, like this edge is a little bit raised, so I'm just gonna use my bone folder to smooth it down so it lies flat. Okay, so now when I shut it, it will lie flat. Okay, all right. So let's create the panels that go inside and on top. So inside is just white. That's the easy one, so I'll do that first. Let's see. Actually, I wonder if I have one that fits exactly. Not quite. This is almost. Oh, I think I have one that's pre-cut. So the inside panel, sorry, I'm just trying to grab my pre-cut pieces. So I have a pre-cut piece, and it's this inner panel is just a standard 4 by 5 1/4, which I have pre-cut for many cards because it says, yeah. So this one will fit. So I don't need to cut that one. I already have it. And then, let's see what else we need. We need the DSP for that. So that piece is 3 7/8 by 5 1/4. So let me find the piece of paper. Oh, here it is. Okay. So this is the DSP. And I'm going to use the rainbow again. Okay, I'm going to have to take it out a little bit. Let's see. I mixed up some of the DSP while I was searching through it to figure out what pattern I wanted to use and which one to match with. And where did all the rainbows go? Here they are. Okay. I was thinking I couldn't possibly have used them all up already. Okay, so there's the rainbow card. The rainbow DSP, that is, and then I use the back of one of the other DSPs for that one, so I'm just going to find it. I think I should have a section of that already, because I already cut it. Yeah, I should definitely have a small piece of that somewhere. Let's see, is this it? Yes, this is it. Yeah, that's the right one. And I think that's all I need from this set. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this down to size, and it is 3 7/8 inch by 5 1/4. So 3 7/8 inch wide. 3 7/8. Okay, let me just double check that. It's always better to double check because, yeah, see, I would have gotten it wrong. I think this was a mistake either on my part when I wrote down the instructions or, okay, so I think I need actually 4, is that right? I should just measure my card and that would be easier. No, actually, you know what? Maybe 3 7/8 does work. 3 7/8. It does work here. Okay. All right. Yes, it works. Okay. I'm not crazy. All right. 3 7/8. 3 7/8. And then 5 1/4. Okay, so that goes on the front, and then my V panel is, this is going to be 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. Let me just double check. Yes, I think that looks correct. Yeah. Okay. 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. So 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. Okay. All right, so I'm going to have to cut this to create that V section again. So I'm going to mark the middle, which is at 2 5/8 inch. Okay. So this is 4/8, this is 5/8. And the top and bottom at 13/16 of an inch. Okay, so this is, I always have to try and think, okay, now which ones are the 16th markings? This is 8, 10, 12, 13. Okay, same on the bottom from the edge. So this is 15, 14, 13 is here. Okay, so I've marked the top and the bottom and the middle again. I'm doing the exact same thing as before. I'm going to place the top marking in the top there and line it up with the middle in the groove. Okay, and I can see I missed it just a little bit, but we'll fix that. I'm going to compare it to the paper next, because my paper is probably not going to be right at the, you know what, I'm going to double check that right now. Okay, because I found when I did it yesterday that it didn't line up exactly, and I had to trim to make the angles work. So see, I can see this is, I don't know why, yeah, I didn't make this low enough, so I'm going to make this a little lower, because I can see that it's not going to be the right angle. Okay, so I need to trim it back here, I think. To this point. Okay, let's see if that works. That looks better. Okay, and then, actually I'm gonna have to erase that in order to line up this tip here. So my tip is right here. I want it to be right there. And this is going to have to be moved over. So the measurements are not quite on. All right. So I'm going to measure and put that, whoops, little spot, line that up. Okay, I'm going to cut here. And let's hope that that fits properly. All right. It does. Woohoo! Alright, I'm just going to erase the pencil markings I've made and get rid of the paper trimmer. Cool. Alright, so now I can glue them on. Okay, so I'll glue this portion on first. I'll use my stamp and seal. There it is. Can't believe it's like the first long weekend of the summer coming up. I can't believe that today's the last day of school. It's amazing. Another year has gone by. Okay. Alright, so let's line this up. Move it over slightly and up a bit because I can see the points don't match. Oops, too far. Okay. All right, and then the DSP is on the other side. Right here, right? Let's just double check. Yep. So. I'm glad I was able to make use of this. I haven't used a lot of my rainbow paper yet, so I'm happy to make use of it for such a cheery card. I think my daughter will like it. And I hope she'll notice that little hearing aid I put for her. Hippo. All right, there we go. Okay. There. All right. So now, let's see, what should I do first? Let's cut out my hippo and create this circle here. Okay. So let's get the hippo out, and I need some white. And I'm going to grab my Stamparatus. Get rid of this stamp. And this guy. I like this one with the flower. Let's see if I can find a small piece of white. Around here. Let's use that. Okay. So I'm just going to set this up. Oh my gosh. Okay. Here's my hippo. And I'm going to get some black, the Memento black, to outline my hippo. Where's the, I'm going to use a stamp pad to hold up my pane, my panel. Okay. Let's stamp that. I'm going to do it again because I like having a good outline on these when I color. Awesome. Okay, I'm just going to clean it off with my chamois. And the other thing I think I'll do right now is I will stamp the words "Love You a Ton," because I think I have room at the bottom here to do that. Okay, so right at the bottom here, because I just need like a tiny sliver of paper. So I'm going to put it right at the bottom. Let me just move this magnet. Okay. So let me just check that it looks straight, because I've lined up my paper and I should just make sure this is lined up. I can see that it's angled just a tiny bit down, so I'm going to lift it without removing it completely and just kind of turn it to fix the alignment without losing my spot. I think that looks straighter. Hard to tell. And you know what I can do is I can take a scrap piece of paper. I'm just going to stamp on here first before I stamp onto my paper so that I know that it's straight. So I stamped this in Bermuda Bay. Where did I put the ink? And the Bermuda Bay is right here. I'll put this one underneath this time. Okay, I can't press too hard because with the letters, if you press too hard, they will make them blurry, and like I think it must spread out the rubber when you press too hard, and you won't get a clear image. Yeah, I think that looks pretty straight. I'm gonna go with it. Okay, so I've done my test run. I'm gonna do the real thing. I'm just patting really gently there. I don't know how I ended up with a tiny little extra ink there, but okay. You know what? I have room, and I'm just going to use, oh, I can't move it up. I was going to move it up. You know what? I will move the paper slightly down. We'll trim off this. Okay. Did I tell you that I'm a little bit particular about the details? Okay, so where was this lined up? Here. I think it was right here. Let me just double check that. Okay, so no, I have to move it up a bit. Okay. Just gonna put my magnets to hold it. Okay, and we'll do that one more time, and hopefully there'll be, you know what, I'm gonna give it a wipe and make sure that there's no fiber there. There must have been like a little piece of lint or something. I'm just gonna clean it off, make sure there's hopefully nothing there. Ink it up again. Okay, that looks perfect, nice and clean. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is color in my hippo. Just leave that on there. Okay, so for the hippo, I colored it in using the blends markers. Oh, I need a little green for my, just get the green out, my theme. Okay, so that's Granny Apple Green. This is Flirty Flamingo. These are both colors that are in that same DSP color set. And of the slate gray is what I'm using. Sorry, I keep saying slate gray. It's actually Smoky Slate, okay, for my hippo. So I think I'm going to color my flower first so I don't accidentally just go over it with my gray by accident when I'm coloring. Okay, and a little leaf in green. Okay, so what I like to do with blending markers is I'll do the dark color first. I've seen some people do it the other way around where they do light and then add the dark, but I can't seem to get the colors to blend that as well. I don't know what it is, but this is the way I do it. I add the dark first, the shading where I want it, and then I blend it in. So I'm just going to put it on the top of the snout, I guess. So I'm adding the dark Smoky Slate to the top here. And where else did I put it? I think I put a little bit on the ears, like anywhere there's lines here. And I think I put it on the sides. There's no real rule for, and I'm going to put some right here. Okay, now I'm going to take my blends marker. I'll use the fine tip to do the top section. So I found that you have to really work it in with the blends markers. You have to color until it's wet enough, like color over the sections that you're blending so it's wet enough so the ink actually mixes. It's not as visible on the ears, but yeah, I've seen people do it with the other way around, Sandra, and I don't know how they get it to blend so well. Like, I don't know what they're doing different. I'm not sure, but this is what I like to do. So I like to mix it like this. You have to make it mix with the dark, and you make it wet enough that it'll mix together and blend. And then you won't have a harsh line there, but you'll have the shading. Now I have to be careful not to go over the line there. And keep her belly white. Okay, and then blending here too, so I'm just going to keep coloring until I see it's mixing. And I had this idea come to me after, like sometime last night or this morning when I was lying in bed. I thought I should paint her toenails rainbow. I think that would be funny and awesome because then you could see it when you open up the card, but it's hidden when you have the panel closed. I'll do that later. There you go. So you can see there's like shading there. I'm going to just color in just a little bit more. Okay. All right. Actually, I can blend this a little bit better too, I think. And that's the beauty of these alcohol markers. You don't get lines like you would with regular markers. Okay, so now that's done. And I can die cut her. All right, let's get the cut and emboss machine and my dies. Which lady is this? This one. Okay. Gotta move this out of the way. All right. So for those of you who don't often or don't know how the cut and emboss machine works, and you think this plate, these sandwich, is difficult to put together, or you can't remember, the instructions are always right here. I love that they just print it right onto the plate here, and you don't have to think about it. Once you know what you're doing, you really don't. You just need to use it as a reference once in a while, but they're there. They don't have to worry about not knowing what plates to use for which embossing folders or for die cutting. It's all there. Okay, so I'm lining her up. Whoops. Okay, and I'll run it through. I should cut that off. Right. Is. And I'm going to trim this off so I have that tiny little label. So let's turn this around. Okay. I love that this trimmer can handle tiny little cuts, skinny ones, because it has these guides up here. My old one did not have guides like that, so I couldn't do really skinny cuts. So I want it to be really close, because oops, this is the scoring blade. Wrong one. Need the other blade. There we go. Perfect. And then I'll trim that down to the right width after. Okay, just take this. Perfect. All right. Oh, I have one more stamping to do inside the card too, but let's continue on here. All right, I need the circles now. So there's a whole bunch of circles to be made. So the circle cuts out the window in our card, and oh, this one's the scalloped edge. So this will create. I'm going to cut out a piece to frame the window as well, and then I also need another circle because I felt like it needed something to frame this circle as well, because it was blending into the background too much. Sandra, what are you saying? Mistaking the scoring. Oh, yes, it's worse when you mistake the cutting blade for the scoring blade and you cut through your paper by accident. That's worse. I have done that. Okay, so actually with I'll do the window card, the window section here first. Okay. I'm gonna need, oh, I put away my cut and emboss machine and I need it still. Just a moment. Okay. So I have found with the layering circles that when they go through my machine, I get like this border around it. Okay, so it cuts the circle, but then I get a border around it. Like it'll press right into the paper. So sometimes what I do when I'm just cutting through paper, I will take my sandwich and adjust it. I'll take out my number 2 and I'll use the dark gray one on top instead of the clear one, and then I won't get that border pressed into the paper. But because I'm cutting through two sheets, like I'm cutting through a DSP, sorry, I'm cutting through the DSP and I'm cutting through cardstock, I'm not sure if it would cut all the way if I did that. But you know what, let's give it a try, because the reason I actually, when I made this frame here, it's because I had that pressed in border here and I wanted to cover it up. And I think the border actually, this little border here actually looks really good with it too. So it's funny how sometimes a mistake or something that you're not happy with, you know, forces you to be creative and create something even better in the end. Yeah. But you know what, I'm not going to try that trick right now because it's going to take more time if it doesn't work. And it's already 10:05 here, so let's not spend more time on that right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the regular sandwich for cutting. So I'm just putting the smaller one down, not the bigger one. Okay, so I'm going to position this with enough space that I can put that border on. And I'm trying to center it against that tip. That looks about right. Okay, and then I need my top plate. I'm trying to place it without disturbing the location of my circle die. Okay, I think that looks okay. I actually measure this. I know I'm really picky. Yes, Sandra, that is correct. I take out the white plate, number 2, and I use the dark plate, I guess that's number 4, whichever the dark gray plate that is used for the embossing sandwiches, that's the one I use instead. And so I don't get as deep in as impression. So you'll find that some dies won't work with this because some of them need to be pressed down harder so that you get like some of the impressions that they make into their die cut, but it works for the circles. Because I didn't like how I was getting a border on my, okay, I think I need to move this up a little bit. Hang on a sec. Go down a bit. What am I doing? This is 1 3/4 from that side. This is 1 3/4. Oh, okay, you know what? I'm gonna leave it. Looks good. Do I have enough? I'm just gonna double check because I'm just worried that I don't have enough room on the side to add this border. Just checking the diameter of this circle. This is 1 5/8. And this is, it should be right one, 5/8. Yeah, okay, that should be the right one. I don't know why it looks wider. Maybe it's just because of the outside of the circle is like that. Okay, so not, oh, I just knocked a whole bunch of hearts on the floor. Went down in a shower. Okay. All right, looks good. You see how there's a border there? Can you tell there's like an angle? Anyways, there is like a pressed in border around the edge of the circle, which I'm not thrilled with sometimes, but I can cover it up this time. So that's the other thing we need to do. So I need a Flirty Flamingo is the color I'm using. Okay, so you see I can cut them out. I cut them out of this one. Where's my circle? Yeah, this is not going to be enough. I'm going to need another piece. Okay, here's another piece. And I'm going to need to cut out the center with the exact same circle as before. that I cut out for my window. So I'll line it up here. I have to make sure that it's evenly spaced, otherwise you're going to get... Sandra says the recipient will never notice the press border, but I do, and it bugs me. That's why I can't stand, like, when it's also, you know, very slightly on an angle or something. I can see it, and it bugs me. For my cards, I can't, like, you know, for other people, you know, of course, when, you know, it's somebody else's card, I don't notice as much for me, but it's just my cards. I have to perfect it. Just like I'm doing now. Okay, let's hope that doesn't move. Okay, let's put that through. Oh, see? That didn't work. I have a double, like a border on the inside, so I'm going to have to change my sandwich so that it doesn't do that. See, I can't live with that. This does not, like, make me happy. So I'm going to take out the number 2, and I'm going to bring out the number 4, so they don't end up with that double ring. Okay, so let's line that up again. Nope, I can see that's... Okay. That's good. Now this is the tricky part, because once I put this down, I can't see if it moved or not. Okay. Okay, so I run it through twice sometimes just to make sure, but the layering circles dies seem very sharp. I never have a problem with them not cutting because I've placed a looser sandwich. See? All right, so that's much better. See, there's no pressed in border on this one, so I'm happy with that. Okay, let's get rid of this. Let me just see, is there anything I need to cut before I do this again? I know I'm going to have to cut this next, okay? So, and I need to cut these. But I'm going to move it because I need to do a couple things first. Okay, so, I need some more scrap white. Okay, so now I've got my window, and I'm going to create the background for this little background for the hippo. And what I did was I used a blending brush, and I'm going to use, oh sheesh, I think I used Pool Party, which is another blue, which is the other blue that's used here. I used Pool Party to make the background, and then I cut it out. Okay, so let me just double check how much room I need. This should be plenty of room, right? This is the same size circle. So I'm going to take my blending brush, and I'm just going to blend in like a little area there. So I didn't clean this off yet, so let me just give it a wipe, because I used it for Bermuda Bay, I think, at one point. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a wipe here, and then I just don't want to get the wrong color. Okay. So let's use this. I'm going to try it out on my rough paper just to make sure it's not muddied with something else. I think that should be fine. So I just want a halo effect around her head. So I'm just going to see. Okay, so I'm just going to do it right here in the middle. Very lightly, starting. Okay, I don't think I have enough ink. I have to get a bit more. I tap off first so I don't get a big blot where I start, but I'm doing it pretty lightly. Okay, let me just check, because I don't want it to cover the whole circle. I need it bigger, so I'm going to continue. Okay, let's see how much room that takes. I think I need a little bit more. And I think my brush, the bristles, I need to clean them. Because I think they're clumping together a little bit, which is not giving me as smooth as a blend on my paper. I think a little bit more still. Tiny bit more. I like to go slowly with this because once you've done it too heavy, you can't go back, you gotta start again. Okay, I think that's probably okay. That's good. So that's going to be my circle for that, and I need the other circle for the Bermuda Bay that goes behind it. Let's see. Don't think I have a big enough circle there. I'm just finding some other scrap paper that I can use for cutting out my background. Bermuda Bay. I don't think I have a big enough scrap. I'm gonna have to use a bigger chunk. I'm gonna have to use this one. Okay, so now I gotta find my circle for this one. It has to be just big enough around. I think this is the right one. Okay, so that's for that. Okay, so I'm going to bring back the cut and emboss machine. Put this one away. All right. So I have this one in blue in the Bermuda Bay, this one for my background, plus I'm going to need one that's for my background here. This is the pieces that's going to hold your flap down. Okay. Okay, so that's this piece. So I have the next size. Yeah, this is this one. So I'm going to put this one. Actually, I think I have another. Oh, good. I have another piece that's just big enough. So I'll do that one after. And I need a small white one for doing the center of my piece that holds it. Okay, so let's put this off to the side. And I'm going to use this one again so that I don't get that pressed border. Okay. There and there. Okay. And I need this smaller piece for my other background. And I'm going to cut out a white piece for, so I have a little bit of blending there, so I got to avoid that. right, I think all my circles. Oh, I need one more blue Bermuda Bay one for the top. Okay, so this is, I think it's the smallest circle. Just a second. Where, this one, right? So this Love You a Ton has a little background on it. Not quite big enough. Next, use this one. Okay. All right, I think I have all the components I need. Oh, I'm missing a raindrop. Hang on. Oh, you know what? Not everybody needs a hearing aid for their hippo. Just my daughter. Or maybe your daughter too, but I don't think most people will have it. But I just cut a, it was just one of the tiny water drops that I used to make her hearing aid. Okay. Aside. Okay, so this, just have to glue it on. I'm gonna use my Stampin' Seal. Okay. I like to use my tweezers to place these so it doesn't stick before I accidentally touch it. It's easier to do it this way. Or I could have used glue, which gives you a little bit of time to play with it before it sticks. And I'm going to put my hippo on. So she's going to go... Actually, you know what? I'm going to figure out where it goes on the card first. So I'm thinking, last time I tried to do it just by kind of like doing like this and trying to line it up, but it occurred to me that it should fit right into the window. Like this should be a raised edge just to fit. Yep, it fits right into the window, and then when I place it down, it will hopefully just fit right into it, but it might come off, so I'm gonna have to be careful. Okay, so let's put the tape on the back, Stampin' Seal. I should have used glue actually, because then I can actually shift it around. That's what I did the first time, I forgot. Okay, so I'm just going to fit it through the window here. Then I know it fits exactly where it's supposed to. Okay, is it lined up? Now it's lined up. Okay, so now that it's lined up, I'm just going to bring it down together. There. That worked out. Okay. Oh yeah, the water drops could be earrings. Good, good, yep. Although I think it might be a little bit big because I had to tuck some of it behind and so that it wasn't so big. Okay, so this, she's going to be right in our window. And because part of her body is off, is like resting on one layer and then 2 layers of DSP or paper, what I did was I put glue dots because they are very slightly raised so that she wouldn't bend if I tried to just put flat Stampin' Seal or glue, and the glue dot will raise her up just a little bit. So I'll put glue dots on her feet and then I'll use like glue or tape for the top. So I'm just going to put, there's the glue dot. Glue dots here on her foot. And another glue dot on her other foot. Where is it? There we go. And I'll put some tape on up here, her head. Okay, so, all right, so the next part is this. Okay, so all I did for the background here is I put on some confetti from the Hey Birthday Chick set. Just grab that. I knew that the confetti and the streamer in this set would be so useful. I'm just going to put that on a block right here. And I'll just stamp it in. So the yellow here is Mango Melody, so I'm going to use the same Mango Melody for the confetti. So just trying to figure out how to get the best coverage. And I'll just stamp this top part. One more here. I feel like it needs a tiny bit more down here. Okay. Put that away. And then I'll glue it on top of this one. I'm going to use glue for this one. Okay, so I'm not going to put a 10 on it because it could be used for something else. I might try and put something else later, but right now I want to show you how the mechanism works. So you want to put on dimensionals so that you could either put it here. I've seen so this was by Joe Blackman, and so she put one here. There's one sample there, and I like it down here actually, so that's where I'm going to put mine. And you need to put the dimensionals just along here, underneath here. And you don't want to put it in too far, because I thought I would cover more and hold it more securely, but then I realized that it gets really difficult to pull out this panel. So you really just want just enough to hold it down and not so much that it becomes difficult to open the card. Okay, so I'm going to put dimensionals on this side only. Dimensionals. So let me just see. I just want to put it in maybe just off of the center, the last 2/3 of the card, maybe. Sorry, the circle. Okay, so I'm just going to give this a try. I don't want it, because I want it to overlap, but I don't want it to, the dimensionals to kind of hit the side of the paper. Okay. And I'm going to put one more on the side here. Okay. So, let's see. So if I take it off, it'll be like this. So just enough to hold it. I'm just wondering. But not so hard that it'll be hard to take it out. Okay, I'm going to put it there. All right. So now I can stamp this. I should have done this earlier. I could have done it before I adhered it, but whatever. I did it like this the first time too. I realized afterwards that I didn't want to add a tag. I just wanted to stamp right on there. So that works out fine. Okay. So let's put on Let's Celebrate You on here. way around. All right, oops. Let's see if that's straight. Just double check. That is not straight. I can see that it's going upwards. I'm just going to lift it up and slightly adjust it. No, it's going too far down. All right, and this I stamped in Bermuda Bay as well. Okay. Looks good. I think I'm going to make it just slightly darker. So I'll stamp it again. Cool. Okay. All right, so, oh, and I need to still put on my little frame too. So let's put the frame on this. So here, remember that? I'm just going to put glue on. Okay. Tweezers again. And I'm just going to, sorry, banged my head into the camera. There we go. Perfect. Okay, and then the last part up here was the hearts. So I don't want it to show when the card is closed, but it's going to be there when it's opened. Okay, so that's where it's going to go. I like laying things out ahead of time so I know approximately where I'm going to lay it down. And my glue, let me just close this before I put ink on myself. So this was approximately here, I think. Okay. That's good. Okay, and I put little hearts on it. So I die cut these hearts. These are part of the Hippos dies as well. So I'm gonna put the Love You a Ton on right at the bottom. So I'm going to put that on first. Just going to put it in the middle because only the middle is going to be sticking here. I don't want to put glue on the sides because then it'll make the paper bend when it's stuck on. Because there's a difference in the height because you're sticking out on top of a layer of cardstock. Okay, so like that. Okay, and now I'm going to add my hearts. So let me put little dots of glue on the back. Let me just check which is front and which is back. They're so tiny. go. All right, so this one, oops, I'm just going to angle a little bit like this. I like to overlap just a tiny bit. Well, maybe not this time. Okay, and the bigger one is on the left side. And then the tiny one on top. There we go. There. All right, so that's the outside of the card. So the inside's pretty simple. I don't think I'm going to assemble the hearts, the pot for you, but I'll show you how I did it because it's getting to be quite a long video. But okay, so this is a rainbow cut out from the DSP. Let me just get it. Okay, so there's a rainbow sheet in here. And what I did was I cut out a full rainbow, and I realized that if I put it the way it was originally intended, it was kind of short and my rainbow would be kind of close to the side because I only wanted half of it. So what I realized is I could turn the rainbow on its side so that it would give me a little bit more room to work with. And I'm just wondering where the other half of my other rainbow went. Because I had the other half cut out already. Oh, here it is. Okay. So yeah, so this was half of a rainbow. I cut it out. And instead of putting it this way, because then my pot would have been like too far over, right? I actually realized that I could put it, which way? Oh, yeah, I needed the other half. So I put it, this is the other half like this. It would have been, no, that's not right. The original was like this. That's the way it was. Okay, so that's, I took it and I turned it on its side so I could get more of a rainbow this way so that it would land center in my bucket. Now the bucket is from the dies from the Hippos dies, so it is a bucket. I used the silver foil paper, which is, I think it's, this is retired, but this is where it was from, the silver foil sheets. But you could use gray, you know. And then I took my Wink of Stella and I colored all, after I put on all the star hearts, I put them all on, adhered them. I took my Wink of Stella and I colored them all with this. So then you can see like there's like a sparkle to these. Okay. So let me just quickly show you. Where did I put? I don't know where the inside. Oh, this must be the inside piece. That's the right. Yeah, that's the right one. Okay, so this would go in here. I'm not going to attach it yet because I want to stamp it, but I want to show you how I just did the rainbow. So this piece is not big enough actually to use, and it's the wrong angle. So I'm going to do this again for you so you know what it looks like. This is just fussy cutting. So what are you putting on your wish list, Sandra? I don't, sorry. Oh, you mean the Wink of Stella. Yes. Yeah. And actually, I could have put Wink of Stella on the rainbow too, but I don't know if that'd be overkill on the sparkles or not. I think it's good just on the hearts. Oops. If I'd been thinking, I would have fussy cut this first, so I wouldn't have to make you guys watch. Okay, so that's the rainbow. And so all I did was take it on its side. So I cut it, and I cut it more towards this side, so it's not more than half of the rainbow. Okay, so I'm going to cut it this way, and I'm going to cut more than half so it can land into my pot better. There we go. I'm going to cut out this white part here. Okay. So this is going to go like this. And I need my pot. You know, I did not think today's live would be so long. I did not think, and I cut out like the hearts and everything ahead of time, but that apparently was not the hold up. All the circles were quite the hold up. I'm just getting my cut and emboss machine. This. Okay, and I have a piece of silver. And I'm just going to cut off a section so I don't have to put the whole thing through. Okay, I need my top panel. Looking for my top panel. Oh, there it is. Thanks, Sandra, for being patient. I love how it makes the lines on the bucket, eh? It just looks so cute. All right. So I just needed it to place my rainbow because I actually adhered my hearts before I put my my bucket on. Okay, so I just need to know how much room I need to leave. So it's approximately here. It doesn't have to go right up to the bottom because you're going to cover it with the hearts anyways. Okay, so I'm going to leave my bucket here so I know where approximately I'm going to put my rainbow, stick some adhesive on this. Okay, so right up against the edge. Okay, and then I used a bunch of hearts to cover the bottom. Okay, so I have a bunch here. I don't have quite enough because I flipped a bunch onto the floor. I have hearts on my floor. I think I'm going to need a few more than that. But basically, here's what I'm going to do. I just adhered them here, and I used like a combination of glue or glue dots because some of them, see how this half is off of the paper, like off of the DSP. it's going to be slightly raised off of the paper, so I might use a glue dot there instead. And I glue a bunch of them along the bottom here. Like that. And then I will do my bucket last. Okay. So I don't think I have enough hearts, but so I will finish this card later, but just so you know, that's what I did. And I'm going to add more hearts and pile them on top of each other. And then I'll show you my Wink of Stella, where I just colored the hearts. Super easy. And I did this afterwards because there are going to be some sections of hearts that are covered up. You won't be able to see them all. Do you see this? I don't know if you can see this. Like, that's shiny. It's really hard to see. Not even in the picture. Okay, sorry. No, this is really hard to show you guys because, like, it won't focus on it. But you can take a look at the picture I took of my original card, and you can see like the sparkle on it, and it looks really good. And it's really easy to use. It's just a brush pen, and very easy to use. So I brushed it all over top of my original card. I just brushed it when I was done, and that was it. So that's basically the card. Like, you get the idea. I don't think I need to does the Wink of Stella take a while to dry? That's what Sandra's asking. Not really. Like, I just brushed this, and now it's like, this one's, I think it's pretty much dry. It's a little bit wet now, but it doesn't take that long. It really doesn't take that long. But I do like it. It's very subtle shimmer, right? So that's basically the card. I think from here it's pretty straightforward. I'm just going to put on my hearts and then stamp that, and then I'll adhere it to the inside, and that will be the card. And it will be done. So you can put whatever you want here to decorate your little holder. But again, just be careful that you don't see, this is going to be the tricky part, trying to slide it back in without bending it. Yeah. So don't want it to cover too much of your flap because it'll make it hard to open and shut. So there you go. That's the card for today. Thanks for sticking with me. It was extra long. It took, I don't know why, there's so many die cutting, I guess, but that will be the last one for a while, and I hope everybody has a fantastic summer. Make time to stamp, and you know, send comments my way when you see something you like, and hopefully we'll be back in August. Okay, thanks a lot, everybody. See you later. Have a great day.